Hey, what's going on everybody? Before we get into the video, I'd like to introduce this video's sponsor, Amino Stories. Now, as you may have heard from the previous video, Amino has released a new feature, Amino Stories. Here you can find short user-made stories on absolutely any topic you want. You can also create some yourself. There are many topics to choose from, and I've actually posted another story, or well, a spoiler of sorts, for another montage. If you guys are interested in that, you can click the Amino search bar, type in Raventric, and click on my profile. If you'd like to see future updates, be sure to follow me. Personally, I found quite a bit of stories that I enjoyed myself, and I'm sure you'll find some that you like as well. That's pretty much it, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Many hopeful pilgrims arrived, lost souls, forever wishing they too could leave their pasts behind. Until a broken soldier witnessed the impossible.
A fixed game. Everybody knows him as Buck, the broken soldier that obtained power never thought possible through years of dedicated patience, politely letting his team know that he needs healing. He finally achieved it. He learned to heal himself. Yep, that's the only perk you get as a Buck main. A class so simple yet so weak throughout the metas, only seeing minor attention during a buff that was later removed due to it actually being a bug. So why play such a bland champion that can't possibly compare to the flashy abilities of other classes? Well, today I aim to answer that exact question. As many of you know, I've played a lot of Buck. Extra spin! And I mean a lot of Buck.
That's hot.
Whether it be a main account or on one of my alts.
You fool! I have 70 alternative accounts!
I'd always end up coming back to Buck, so there has to be something unique about him, right?
Nope. Come on!
Let's start off by exploring Buck's actual lore. Once a loyal soldier of the Magistrate gone rogue, after realizing he's been fighting for a copy-paste of Darth Vader, decides to become a monk, and waits long enough to receive the healing powers of Genos, who apparently had to travel the universe, achieve great powers.
I am ascended! Get back to work!
All for being put into a mediocre support role.
What is my purpose?
You pass healing.
Oh my.
And not even the best one. A tree can heal more than him. If that's not a disappointing career choice, I don't know what is. Now, with the favor of Genos, our champion seeks out the resistance to gain back his honor and aid in the struggle against the Magistrate. That all aside, let's get into a more non-traditional way of doing a review. I'll be going through the negatives of playing Buck before I even give you any of my loadouts, or stating any of the positives. This will hopefully give anyone wanting to unlock Buck more insight before deciding if they actually want to. One of the most common bugs that still hasn't been fixed is the ultimate bug. After using your ultimate, which gives a higher firing rate and unlimited ammo, you're left with 3 shots instead of 4, and aren't able to reload. Now you can fix this by shooting and attempting to reload the now 2 missing shots, but for a competitive game, this is definitely a huge downside. And hold on!
I'm not done yet! Call right now, and I'll triple the offer!
There's more! If you thought that wasn't enough, Buck also has another ultimate bug, where when using your ultimate, you're forced to reload your shotgun before getting the ultimate's effect. I have no clue how to repeat this, but it's been happening to players and streamers alike.
All of this just works.
Another slightly more rare occurrence is the lack of damage when using Bounce House. Even when landing near an enemy, it will outright decide to stop working, completely ruining the whole point of the talent.
Sorry.
Knowing now how bogged down Buck is with the existence of these bugs, let's proceed to his base kit. One of his best perks is secretly his biggest weakness, the skill Recovery. Now, new Buck players might see the description of this skill and think,
this'll give me the strength I need to really
Be a credit to team.
but unfortunately they would be wrong. You see, Paladins has an item shop in which you can buy a direct counter to any healing source, and completely shut down Buck's recovery along with anyone trying to make bulk up irrelevant talent. That item is hi-rez. A huge mistake Buck players do against enemies with hi-rez is attempting to heal in front of them. Unless the enemy is completely unaware that you're shooting at them, you won't get your heal and die because you're stuck in the healing animation, unable to fight. Wait until the debuff symbol on your screen fades before indulging in that sweet 1000 HP.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
Buck's main weapon is a massive shotgun that fires 20 small pieces of shrapnel, dealing up to 700 damage. Now that's only for a body shot. It deals 1050 on a headshot. As a shotgun, it's obviously a close-ranged weapon. It sounds great on paper, but in reality, pretty much every single flank, damage, and even some of the tanks out-damage you in medium range. The only hope a Buck player has of dueling someone is timing their skills and landing every single shot. Learn how many shots the enemy champion has. Take a look at his cards to see if they have any ammo regen. If you have to heal in combat, heal when the enemy is reloading. Buck's secondary fire is called net shot. Net shot slows a target down by 50% for 2 seconds and deals 200 damage. This can be really useful when trying to catch up with a fleeing target, just to deal some extra damage when used right after a shot, or preventing someone from touching the point.
Another win.
Problem is, anyone who buys resilience can completely counter that slow. But what if I told you there's a way to make that lackluster net shot actually provide you with enough damage to duel absolutely anyone? Meet our first talent for Buck, Ensnare. Along with the damage bonus, Ensnare gives Buck a more reasonable range. Don't get me wrong, your priority is still to shove yourself into the enemy's personal space, but now you can also do decent medium range poke. Ensnare is a more tactical way of playing Buck. You can sit back, shred down their health, and snowball when you get a pick or two. Now it's actually good to save your ult for the next point, and I highly recommend, if you take the game seriously, do not do what I do. I enjoy securing kills, so I'll ult at any time I feel the need to. Sometimes when you're flanking, your team will die too fast. Instead of feeding the enemy even more and staggering your team, it's best to retreat. But don't just run, get behind cover and expect someone to chase you. Chances are they will.
Gotcha!
Come at me!
And more than likely, your team will already be there to punish them for it. Here we see a clip in which I try to flank and see the entire team coming at me. Now in this case, I should clearly die, but I don't.
I'm here to kick butt and chew bubblegum! I'm spotted.
That Paladins will be fixed one day.
Here you see me doing the most logical thing you should as a lone Buck. I backtrack, trying to avoid the damage coming at me, take cover,
We shall be stealthy.
and pick off the players in the back while their team pushes the point. This results in a snowball and the crash of the whole team. As a Buck, it's important to see opportunities, know his strengths and weaknesses, and understand when you should retreat or when you should go all in. Of course, this all comes with experience playing him, but don't be afraid to jump in when you see a chance. There is no place for fear in a Buck main. You have to risk it. And unless you're facing new players,
What sick man sends babies to fight me?
you will die. I know this might be a shocking revelation to some, but that's normal. Don't beat yourself up over it. And then there are games when the enemy is just having a bad day.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
As you see from that clip, I'm strafing left and right against a champion that always wins a duel with Buck. It's actually surprising how effective this can be, and at times even the best players will miss a shot or two against you. When you're in a duel, you can also use your leap. Enemies will usually take a second to process what happened, and could possibly miss their shot. But there's a lot more to that leap, and a far more prominent reason for why I use it in combat. Behold, Buck's biggest strength, and a card that I use in almost every single loadout, Momentum. You somehow materialize a suit of armor while gracefully leaping through the air. The enemy's shots are like pebbles. Nothing can hurt you, but then you realize you're a Buck one trick and die.
Oh, man.
This effect lasts for 4 seconds, so use it wisely. It can be both an escape and the most powerful offensive tool you have. This of course segues into the next and best in my opinion talent for Buck, the essence of his existence. The whole reason why Buck is still fun to play even now, Bounce House.
Here's the wind-up! Somebody stop me!
With Bounce House, you're getting damage reduction, plus the added bonus of 600 damage every time you land near a target. But I'm not done yet. Hi-rez has gracefully added a knockup on all the enemies hit. From the last clip, you may have noticed I was constantly resetting my leap after every enemy killed, and pretty much juggling the enemy team. If Buck is allowed to get kills consistently, the reset continues. It's pretty much a huge snowball of damage and damage reduction. These are the cards that allow me to do said snowballs. And as a huge tip, when playing against a Bounce House Buck, don't go out out alone like the brave trooper you are, and wait until your whole team respawns. Trying to kill a Buck alone who just got his reset will most likely get you killed, giving him another 4 seconds of damage reduction, along with some friendly advice from your team. I mean, look at this. You can kill enemies without even trying. It's disgusting. I'm surprised how often I run into people who don't understand how Buck works. People consider him a bad champion, and the low playtime that he gets benefits him overall. They don't know what you're actually capable of. You know, sometimes you have games when you have to decide, do I want a flashy play, or do I want to stagger their best player so they have absolutely no chance of winning? Always stagger the meta champions, because even a mediocre player will be able to wipe you out with a little bit of luck. Or you could just throw all that out the window and try to befriend them. Not always a success.
What are you aiming at? What are you aiming at?
This is so sad. Can we hit 50 likes?
Now you may be asking yourself, wait, isn't Buck a flank? And you would be absolutely right, he is. But since you have such a high damage reduction, you can use this for some of the most unexpected flanks. Now I have a lot of great spots noted for myself and just keep discovering more and more from where I can leap. Take this as an example. Don't be like this dense Buck over here, jumping in when the enemy is clearly focused on you. The most you'll get out of it is a trade and probably die.
I still see your shadows in my room.
You should also remember that even after a successful flank, your priority is to survive. You will be important for the next team fight, or just to emote.
Another win.
On the other hand, if you jump in when the enemy is still on their horses, they won't have enough time to react, and you can have your perfect flank. These type of flanks will always have a huge impact on the game, and can win you some crucial point fights. Always try going for the isolated targets. Don't be upset if you die after a successful flank. A Buck main should never show fear to his enemy. If the enemy team is not constantly checking their flanks, fearing that you will appear behind them like the chunky phantom you are, they are disrespecting you. They think you're a bad flank. You can't possibly be stealthy with that figure. They've just killed 2 of your teammates and are about to finish off your low HP comrades, celebrating their victory. Point almost capped, everything is going their way, but they made one mistake. They forgot about one Bucky boy. In these kinds of situations, when the match is almost over, just kill anyone you can. Just fight. It is your point. How dare they try to claim it while you're still alive? Even if you don't survive, you can calmly rest, knowing you just won your team the game. As for Bulk Up, a lot of people seem to assume that Bulk Up is a good talent. Thing is, that was before the nerf. It used to be good with the extra damage reduction, but after that was removed, and the animation time for recovery was increased, it became a slightly larger health buff that gets shut down by Cauterize, and leaves you with pretty much no talent at all. I'll still leave a loadout that makes it slightly decent for you, but honestly, I can't think of a single situation to be useful in. But what about the games that don't go into montages? What about those times when the enemy team is smart and does not allow you to fulfill your role?
God! What? Can't breathe! Oh! Oh! That stings! It burns! Not good! Not good! I need a sterile bandage!
Yeah. Most of the time, Buck won't be picked in ranked, and if you try to even hover over his portrait, your team will most likely flame you before you even lock him in. No one believes in Buck. In most cases, Buck really won't be that useful, but that is what makes him so alluring. You're telling the enemy team, I believe in myself. You picking such an underwhelming champion says you're confident in playing something that's not in the meta. You're showing love to a champion that never gets it. So why should you play Buck? Well, that's pretty much all you need to know about Buck. This was also a video concept I wanted to try for a long time, so all feedback is appreciated, and if you enjoyed it, there will possibly be more videos like it. I'm also hosting a giveaway for the new Battle Pass. If you want to join that, all links will be in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.